Some things need no translation. The tears of a child.
There's no tickets.
The heartbreak of goodbye. Bravery in the face of fear.
I was helping my husband to pack for a war, and then I thought, okay, he's going in war. I'm going too.
Tonight, Ukrainians putting up a death-defying fight, holding out against the onslaught of Russian troops as delegations from both countries meet. The world watching in awe as ordinary citizens band together to fight off a military superpower.
This is, in fact, the quintessential David and Goliath story. The underdogs, nobody would take those odds in Vegas. And they've held their own.
Все, время спать. Все, ложись спадки. Все, закрывай глазки.
For little Peter Stepanovich, this probably feels like a family fort, sleeping with mom and dad on a mattress, on the floor, out in the hallway.
So we're not leaving anywhere because they set martial law and a curfew until Monday.
For Roman and his wife Katya, this is not a game. It's life and death.
I miss my ordinary life.
The young family has been holed up inside their Kyiv high-rise, venturing out only for supplies.
So there's no milk, no cheese, lots of ice cream. There's a water shortage and there's no bread.
But even that is becoming a struggle.
No. It's a flavored milk, Peter's favorite. It's probably the last one in our fridge, and I haven't seen any in the store. Our life has changed bigly, a lot. Since yesterday, we sleep here in a corridor.
When Roman and Katya moved to Kyiv, they had hoped they escaped the violence inflicted on Ukraine by Russia. He grew up in what would become the Eastern conflict zone. She came from Crimea, which Russia invaded back in 2014. They didn't plan for their children to experience this kind of chaos.
So we tried to leave today. We've packed a lot of things. They have closed bridges from the left bank to the right bank.
Now they're left figuring out how to keep their son safe.
Putin is here to fail. Hopefully. And yeah, Russia. It's safe now.
Just blocks away, Alexander Pak is dealing with the same uncertainty.
You're feeling anxiety all the time. You're feeling tired all the time because we're not sleeping. We just don't want to die in the sleep.
Alexander and his wife vowing to stay.
We woke up of the loudest explosion I've ever heard.
Late Monday, a missile strike ignited this raging fire on the outskirts of the city.
If you don't know what ballistic rockets are, I wish you don't, because this is very loud and very scary.
The battle for Kyiv has been days long. Air raid sirens, a nearly constant soundtrack. These satellite images show a huge Russian military convoy advancing toward the capital. Experts initially thought Kyiv would fall into Russian control over the weekend.
The Ukrainians are demonstrating a deep desire to remain free and independent. That's something that Vladimir Putin completely miscalculated.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman helped spearhead U.S. relations with Ukraine and Russia, watching Volodymyr Zelensky up close for years. He served as Director of European Affairs at the National Security Council for 2 years during Trump's presidency.
Do you see the possibility of prolonged street warfare? Could this turn into a guerrilla war?
This could turn into a campaign that lasts easily weeks and months. Does Russia use its air power to beat off Ukrainian counterattacks, or does Russia negotiate what it couldn't achieve by force?
In 2019, Vindman memorably testified at Trump's first impeachment trial, saying he overheard the former president pushing Zelensky to dig up dirt on the Biden family by threatening to withhold military aid.
In what way did it leave Ukraine vulnerable?
After the Ukraine scandal, Ukraine became radioactive for the remainder of the Trump administration. That continued on, actually, frankly, in my opinion, through the Biden administration.
For the first time, delegations from Ukraine and Russia met at the border with Belarus, talking for 6 hours. So far, no ceasefire, both sides agreeing to a second round in the future. The meeting comes as Russia begins feeling the economic impact of sanctions. The Russian stock market closed. People lined up at banks as the ruble took a pounding. And that's not all. Soccer's governing bodies banning Russia from the World Cup and all competition. Shell Oil announced it will quit all its Russian operations. That follows BP, which divested its stake in Russia's key oil company. FedEx and UPS also halting all shipments into the country. And Google and Facebook's parent company, Meta, also blocking Russian state media from receiving money for ads. In a meeting today, Vladimir Putin calling countries of the West an empire of lies. Over the weekend, he shocked many by raising the alert level of Russia's nuclear forces. Today, Ukrainian President Zelensky further defying Putin by signing an application to join the European Union.
He's the tiger of Kiev, rallying the troops to defend his country. That is a very powerful example to the world.
How unexpected was this stand that Zelensky took and his ability to rally this coalition?
He's a Ukrainian Jewish kid like me. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me in the least. I would say he's been underestimated.
Zelensky's remained visible throughout the invasion, often appearing on social media, calling on Ukrainian citizens to take up arms. And his people have answered, lining up to receive their government-issued guns and ammo.
Get into action now.
The mayor of Kyiv, a former heavyweight boxing champion, taking up arms, ready to fight.
I am Ukrainian, and I am a fighter.
Others repurposing old beer bottles to create a makeshift arsenal of Molotov cocktails. In some cases, married couples fighting side by side.
So we are here together, and my kids are 2 kilometers from here in the bomb shelter. They are alone there. So I'm very confident that we would survive. This is our only chance, and we would do that.
Images from social media showing Ukrainian soldiers fighting on the streets of the second largest city, Kharkiv. Still, this video showing bombs hitting residential neighborhoods there. Ukraine calling these acts war crimes. So far, hundreds of thousands of parents are trying to save their children by escaping. The UN reporting that nearly 500,000 Ukrainians have fled, mostly to Poland. The backup on the road to the border goes on for miles. This boy tearing up, describing the uncertainty ahead.
Папа будет продавать что-то, будет помогать нашим героям, нашим войскам, будет помогать, может даже будет воевать.
So many families forced to separate. This man kissing his wife and children goodbye, since he'll stay behind and fight. And he'll be joined by these men walking from Poland into Ukraine to join the war effort.
So we're heading west to Lviv if we have luck.
Roman and his family could soon be saying their goodbyes. The young dad, his wife, and 2 sons boarding a train out of Kyiv this morning.
All doors are closed, so we're just waiting it to be opened. We have made it to Lviv. So the whole trip was a mess. In a place that is counted for 6 people, we had 15, I guess. There was a lack of air, and it was very hot, and there was no water.
Roman keeping up a brave front, trying to reassure everyone that their separation will only be temporary.
Wish us luck, and hopefully Katya and children will get to Europe next couple of days. I'm staying here.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.